Hey everybody, it's Zach here from the Ed Boys, and welcome to episode 57 of our RuneScape 2007 Road to 100 Mil. At the end of episode 56, I said I would be finishing up all of these unfinished Ronar potions and then selling them back for a profit, and I've done that here. I have 16 more to go, and then we'll have 5,000 unfinished Ronar potions to sell. These probably won't sell right away, so I will have a separate clip showing me grab the money, unless of course they do sell right away, but I'm highly doubting that. That's probably not going to happen. We'll move on into what we're doing today after we sell these, and then we'll start doing the pros and cons and whatnot. As you can see, what we're doing today is going to be blue dragons. You can probably tell that from the title. But before I really get into that, I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm a little excited about it. We need to run up to the grain exchange and start selling these potions. The unfinished Ronars are definitely one of my favorite in-between episodes we've done recently because it's pretty quick and it's a pretty good profit. When we do about 5,000, I can't really do much more than that because it costs so much money to buy the herbs. I would have enough money to buy 8 or maybe 10,000 of them, but even if I could buy 10,000, it doesn't take too long to do 10,000 potions, or at least 5,000 in this case. So I like how quick it goes. It's a very fast in-between episodes. As you can see, they're not selling right away, so I will skip to the next clip. Alright everyone, you can see we're in Falador now. I'm just getting ready to fight the blue dragons, and I do have this 35 mil to add to the cash stack, which puts us at 90 mil, which is actually a pretty big milestone. 90% of the way there. Our first 90 mil stack, 90.4 mil actually, so we're getting pretty close to that 100 mil. As you can see by looking at some of my messages I'm getting right now that these clips were kind of out of order. I just did that so you guys could see how much money we made. Now we're moving on to our first trip of the Blue Dragons. I will be doing 30 loads of Blue Dragons, which will get us 350, maybe even closer to 400 Blue Dragon hides and Dragon Bones. So we're going to make a good profit from this. I'm looking at maybe a 2 mil profit. As you can see, I have a whip. Again, Fox is letting me borrow his whip because he is a nice guy and he does things like that for us. So thank you very much, Fox, for letting me borrow it. I will return it, and I will make sure to get the returning of the whip on camera so you guys see that I don't sell it and just suddenly have an extra 2.5 mil. But that would be pretty hard to hide from you guys anyway. I'm going to move on into the pros and cons lists in just a minute. I don't think there's really that many big milestones I'm going to reach here. I'm probably going to get it right around 74 attack. I do not believe I'll be getting up to 75, but it is possible. I really haven't done the math on it. I'm just assuming. Other than that, there's not really that much big going to happen, so I'm going to have the clip of the Blue Dragons and whatnot, but there's not going to be anything specific we pause for. So now I'm going to move on to the pros and cons list. As always, we will start with the cons list, and the first thing we have on that list is that it's a fairly high requirement thing. I have 70 attack, strength, and defense. I actually have 72 attack now, but the first time I did this, I had 70 in each of those stats, and that was basically the minimum I figured I would need to fight them, and I kind of agree with that now that I've actually tested it out, that 70s are really kind of your minimum. You could do this with 60 attack, strength, and defense. It wouldn't be the worst thing, but it wouldn't be that quick either. So you kind of need a higher level requirement. Not that 70 is really high, but to make this even faster, you'd want to be more in the 80s and 90s, or even if you're ranging them, you still would want 80 or 90 range to make this very quick. So I would consider this a medium to high level requirement for the really top profit you could be making, which is, it's kind of a con, but since it's not a really high level requirement, it's not a bad con. The next thing is that the blue dragons can get crowded, and I think anyone who has fought blue dragons knows this already. There's always people fighting the blue dragons, especially rangers, so you constantly have to hop. I do it all the time. I probably get one whole load in each world, and then by the time I go back from my bank trip, someone's there and I gotta hop. But it's not that much of a pain. I mean, I usually only have to hop 1 or 2 times to get to another world, and it doesn't affect the profit very much. When I talk about the profit and the XP rates, that generally will include the hopping time I have to take for all of the world hops. But that's the only things we have for cons. I'm going to move into the pros. The first one, I would almost consider this 2, is that you get good XP, or excuse me, good profit and decent XP. I wouldn't say too good. Of course, if I was a higher level, I would be getting better XP than I am now. And I'll give you more on the profit and the XP rates in just a minute, but they are good enough that I would consider them pros. Another pro would be that it is simple to do. Once you have the requirements, fighting dragons is not really hard. You do have to pay some attention. It's not like it's AFK and you could just look away like bowstrings or unfinished Ronars. And if you're not paying attention, it's not just going to affect how much money you're making and how much experience you're getting, but you could die here. It's combat. They could kill you and you lose your items, you end up losing money. So it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, but once you have the requirements, it's not a big deal. You just show up, kill 12 to 13 dragons, run back to the bank all the stuff you got. It's similar to a gathering type skill like fishing or woodcutting because we're just gathering hides and bones, but it's simple enough to say that pretty easy to do. The next pro we have on the list is going to be, there's always a high demand for dragon bones. I can say that about a lot of the moneymakers we do. Like the last one, I didn't really say that for Chinchampas, which is kind of true. There's always a high demand for Chinchampas, but there is always a high demand for dragon bones. It's true. People are trying to get 99 prayer or at least any prayer levels at all. I know that when I train prayer, I plan on buying dragon bones. And dragon hides are also kind of in always high demand because of people training crafting and whatnot, but it's definitely not as of a high demand as dragon bones, which is probably why the dragon bones are a higher price. That would make sense. That's going to wrap it up for our pros and cons list. We can go into the XP and the GP rates. The XP rates were not really anything to impress. I was getting about 25k XP an hour, and I think if I really was pushing it, I could have gotten up to 30, but I wouldn't rely on 30, if that makes sense. It definitely would be a lot higher if I had higher combat, and that kind of goes without being said, because if I had higher combat, I'd be killing them quicker. More kills an hour would mean more XP an hour, and more money per hour. But the money per hour is what we're looking for in the first place. I was making just about 200k an hour. I could get up to 225, even 250k, especially if the prices were a little bit better. While I was fighting these, the prices on dragon hides weren't killing it, but the prices on dragon bones were actually doing really well, so I guess the prices were kind of at a high at this point. But you definitely, if you get the prices right and if you had higher combat, you're getting a lot more than 200k an hour. But I was just getting 200k, which wasn't too bad. I'm definitely okay with 200k an hour because I enjoy fighting blue dragons. I definitely like this task a lot. Now that I've gone through the pros and cons and all the XP rates, I am going to move on. We will be finishing up these blue dragons, all 30 loads of them, and that's when I'm going to see you next. Probably have like 380 or so blue dragon hides and dragon bones, hopefully the same amount of each, or else I missed a pickup, and I've definitely done that in the past. Either way, I will see you guys then. Alright everybody, this is our final load of blue dragons. This is actually our last blue dragon right here, I believe. As you can see, I got a loop half of a key on this load, and that is the first time fighting blue dragons in this whole series that I have gotten a loop half of key, so I was kind of interested. It's really not anything special. It's not like a 2 mil drop. That would be great, but it's not. It's only like 30k, I believe. But now that we've killed enough dragons, I'm going to head over to the grain exchange. First I'll go to the bank. Let's see how many bones and hides we have. But then I'll go over to the grain exchange and sell these for what I'm thinking will be about a 2 mil profit, which I'm looking forward to. I also got to make sure I remember to give Fox his whip back. He probably wants this. It's his, not mine. Alright, we have 373. We add what we have here. It looks like we have one more dragon bones than dragon hide, but we've gotten over 380 of each, which is going to be a good profit. Alright everybody, I was on my way to the grain exchange and Fox was sitting here at the bank. I knew he was sitting here at the bank. It wasn't just happenstance. But I came, gave him his whip back. There you go, Fox. Thanks for letting me borrow it. Now I'm going to run up to the GE to go ahead and sell all the hides, bones, nature runes, and even that loop half of key for a little bit more profit. I am guessing a 2 mil profit, but we will know in just a minute exactly how much money we made. Either way, I definitely enjoyed blue dragons. It's kind of a bummer that this is the last time I'm doing them in this series because, like I said, I enjoy them. It's one of the more fun ones. But that was number 4 on the list. Blue Dragons landed at number 4, and we only have the top 3 left. We're running out of time, guys. This is kind of getting to the end here. I think we'll be at a little over 92 mil, which I guess is 92%. So that means we're going to make 7.5 mil in the next 3 episodes. The finale will be on the number 1 moneymaker. So episode 60 is the final episode. But I really shouldn't be getting ahead of myself. We still have a few episodes to go. I'm still selling the blue dragon hides, and blue dragons are only number 4. So let's not talk about the finale yet. We're not there quite yet. We're still on episode 57. But we're going to be wrapping it up here soon. After I grab all this money here, I'll be starting the in-between episode assignment, and that's when we'll wrap it up. But now I can see we have, just about 2 mil to add to the stack, 1.9 mil. And I didn't really spend too much money on food and potions, so we're at 92.4 mil. There we go. We are making some good progress. And for our in-between episode, we are going to be doing some fishing. I'm not going to be doing swordfish this time because I did swordfish last time. I probably would prefer swordfish, but just to change it up, make things a little different, I've decided that I'm going to do lobsters. I wanted to only catch like 2,000, maybe 2,500 lobsters, but then I thought I would go all the way to level 76 fishing. You guys probably know why, but if you don't, I'm going to keep it a surprise. I'm figuring you all know why. Either way, I'm going to 76 fishing, which will take about 3,800 raw lobsters. We're going to make 600 or 700K from this. It is kind of slow. This isn't the fastest moneymaker. That's why it only takes 40 fishing. But I'm all right with it. I'm willing to take the time in this in-between episode to get the fishing level and to make that profit. That's going to wrap it up, though, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed just like I did, and we'll see you next time. I want to thank you guys for watching today's video and helping support the channel. If you enjoyed the video, we would appreciate it if you would hit that like button and tell us what you liked about it in the comments section below. If you're looking for more videos like this one, then go ahead and join the cul-de-sac by clicking that subscribe button and follow us on Twitter at @TheEdBoys. All links are in the description.